Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Tech Tronics channel, where today we're going to be doing uh, Microsoft VBA Excellence coming to terms, lesson number 2. So we're not going to do any real coding or anything like that. We're just going to come to terms with what we're dealing with in the Excel VBA platform. So let's get it started. Without further ado, be sure to like the video on your way in, but let's start with the intro. Okay, so we're back with coming to terms. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video on your way in, share the video, and sharing is caring, and it's always a great thing. Be sure to check out the Grocery Dynamite Access System for 2016. Uh, Office 2016. It's a great database that allows you to compare prices and rate groceries based upon brands. You could get the Grocery Dynamite database at grocerydynamite.com. If you want more information, you can get information at grocerydynamite.com. And you might say, wait a minute, I'm just learning some basic Excel stuff. Well, like learn databases too. You know what I mean? So this is a good opportunity to learn databases. I going to probably look at creating some courses in database activities as well. So stay tuned for the channel. Um, let's move forward with our presentation. Today is like we're just going to come to terms with what we're working with here. So we're going to be talking about basically private versus public subs and modules. So when it comes to creating VBA macros, the designation of private or public is important. It defines how the VBA code within one module could interact with the VBA code in a separate module. This is applicable to both the private subs and private functions. So this is very important. This is very critical, you know, and this will break it all down for us. Now, a public sub or function has more visibility across the Excel workbook, Outlook, Access, Word, or PowerPoint presentation. For instance, with social media account profiles, there are parts that we allow the public non followers to see and private areas for only followers to see. And dealing with VBA, the distinction is not as straightforward nor apparent. Um, so, keeping that in mind, hopefully, this clears things up for us a little bit. So, when we go into the later projects on this channel. All right. So, first thing is first is modules. Modules are the common place where VBA code is written and stored. Then you have the worksheet modules, which is typically used to trigger code related to that specific worksheet. Each worksheet contains its own module. So if there were 7 worksheets, then we would have 7 worksheet modules. You can see that in the example, there is a sheet 1 and there is this workbook module. And then we go down to the following discussion where there is a workbook module, which is used to trigger code related to the workbook level advance. For instance, if I wanted to save the workbook upon close, I would put that code there. All right. So, are you guys following this? Be sure to click that like button, help the algorithm, and all that good stuff. All right. Now, if we are relying on triggered events, we need the workbook, worksheet, user form modules to track the event. There is no way to trigger an event based upon the change of a cell in a worksheet without using the worksheet module to trigger the code. Standard modules not related to any specific objects of the workbook and do not have any specific any events related to them, as you can see in the example there. So now we have the other module types, which are used for creating custom objects that operate very differently from other module types. Class modules are beyond the scope of this lesson. All right. So, in a nutshell, what we are dealing with here is that we have private, no, public versus private. Public subs do not appear in Excel's macros window. Any public sub which requires arguments also do not appear in this macro window, but it can still be executed if we know how to reference it. Private subs, it is best to consider them as VBA code that can only be called by other code within the same module. So essentially, hopefully, this helps clear things up in terms of dealing with, these modules and such in Excel. So if you're interested, we have a Grocery Dynamite Access 2016 database system, which allows you to track your groceries based upon what you like most, you know what I mean? And lets you look at the pricing. It lets you set priorities. It lets you determine. It's up to you to keep track of the stuff you run out of. So you would enter it in the database. Say if I run out of syrup for my pancakes, then I would have to enter it in the database as a priority so that when I kick out the report, I can go right to the supermarket and get that which I need, which is the syrup. So if you would like to get a copy of the Grocery Dynamite Access database system, you would go to grocerydynamite.com. You would also, if you have any questions, you can email info@grocerydynamite.com, and it requires Office 2016. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. And this is a Techtronics presentation. Be sure to subscribe, share, and like the video on your way out. And with that, have a great day.